Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to watch Just How TV. Today I will be reacting to the first episode of Industry. If you don't know Industry, it is a new series on HBO/BBC. The writers of this series are two ex-bankers. From the outtake, I expect the series to, have quite the personal touch or personal experience from these two former bankers. From the trailer, I do believe the storyline is probably based heavily around sales and trading and IBD within M&A. If you have not seen it already, I did have an M&A internship at Credit Suisse. So in this episode, I would be kind of like, being able to react more or have a more input on the M&A side, so not too much on the sales and trading, but yeah, sure. Let's see what I can pick up and what I can, infer from this very first episode. I have done a video of how I got an M&A internship at Credit Suisse. So if you are interested to know my journey, you can see the link to the video in the description. Before we get into the video, please make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit that bell for notification, and hit the like button.
How many of these have you had?
9. 4 in New York, 4 here, and Skype.
Why are you here then?
Well, it's not a very political answer.
It's the guy from Lost.
I think mediocrity is too well hidden by parents who hire...
Jesus Christ and Margaret Thatcher.
And where do you stand on them?
One's the reason we're all here, and the other's a carpenter.
First take, he does look like he is from, let's say, elite training. The way he sits, the pace that he talks in. I would guess that he's Oxford or Eton. I didn't read about him, but that's my guess.
And I only ever want to be judged on the strength of my abilities.
And paid for it.
I guess.
I didn't realize that we recruited from SUNY Binghamton.
It's a non-target.
Can you tell us a joke?
Yeah. It's a bit for work.
Yes, I have been in this situation before, and there are some common questions like, why are you here? Tell us about yourself. And not too much about tell us a joke. I didn't get that question during my interview. There are some case studies that would be thrown at you if you are interviewing for an M&A position. I think tell us a joke is not to catch you off, but I think some interviews, I do know there are some interviews, they do throw some curveballs at you. Like, I think I have had one question where they asked me if I was a sandwich, what kind of sandwich would I be? Or if there is, what song would describe you best? Or something like that. It was like many years ago. And I think these are kind of questions are designed to test if you can think on your feet. There are situations where you do have to think on your feet fast and in a professional manner. So I think this is not the kind of question designed to catch you out, but just to see how you would react when you are not prepared.
Wow.
That's new.
Yeah, you look like regional nightclub security.
Stag do security. Actually, let me just do that.
Well, you see in this scene, I think it's on the sales and trading floor. I didn't work on the sales and trading floor, but I do have friends who are in sales and tradings, and I think there are some truth in the sense that the personalities, they are very different to M&A. Yeah, there are some douches. Just to be frank, there are some douches on the trading floor. I think it's like this alpha male thing that they always have to piss on their territory, that kind of thing. Those are the things that I gathered from my friends who work in sales and trading. I love the fact that they got the attire on point. I mean, like, you can see one guy is in that grey vest jacket. It's super common in M&A in particular. It's just funny. Like, I know some MDs wear this to work as well, but come on, they actually got the name of the company on it. For graduates, they would be given like a duffel bag with the logo of the companies on it, and it's like a badge of honor. It's a sense of pride for these guys in a sense. So I do understand why they got this touch in this scene, and I like it. I like it. It's very it's real. It's real.
The impression that you make on clients will all be evaluated.
In 6 months' time, on Rift Day, that's reduction in force, you'll be standing in this room telling all of us why you should be hired permanently to your desk. PeerPoint is the world's preeminent financial services institution. We expect you to behave like you have a stake in it. Act like an owner. Enrich your clients, enrich us, enrich yourselves. So look at the guy or gal next to you. Really look. Do you think you're better than them? Maybe you are, but half of you won't be here in 6 months.
Just make yourselves indispensable.
This wouldn't happen in real life. Like, you wouldn't be put in an auditorium in front of, among your peers and have a senior speaking to you in that kind of manner. Usually it would be like encouragement, words of support, we are here to learn together, you deserve to be here, etc., etc. But behind the scene, or when it's like a one-on-one offsite, when you're going to a coffee, the unspoken advice is essentially do make yourself indispensable, because when you're working in finance, it is a very highly demanding environment. You're working on billions worth of transactions and deals, so there is a kind of high demand, high expectation, and in a sense they are filtering out who can and who cannot cope in this kind of environment. Sure, some people are made for it, some people are certainly not. So this process is just a way for the company to pick out the best for this kind of job.
Identical outfit to yesterday?
Well, I'm logging those nocturnal hours, trying to make a good impression,
Don't try to figure out how much you get paid by the hour in IBD, because I will guarantee you it is less than minimum wage.
Well, the way I see it, I'm in the ivory tower upstairs. You're down here on the floor with the peasants.
Oh wow, in the ivory tower and you're here with the peasants. So yes, in this sense, it is true when Harper say that if you are working out per hour, M&A does pay lower than the minimum wage. I mean, if you're working 12 hours, some days working out is lower than minimum wage. I mean, it is the harsh truth, because M&A is notorious for its long hours, or in IBD in general. I have been there, I understand what she's saying, and at the same time, when Harry say that he's in the ivory tower, it does play in the image that M&A is the holy grail of IBD. There is a sense of pride when someone is working, when they say they in M&A. I can see that and I understand. But I think later on you would imagine that not everything is as glamorous as everyone would make it out M&A to be. So it will be interesting to see what the story can tell us.
Are you that thirsty?
Oh, you got a 30 quid meal allowance. Like, why would you not?
30 quid? You get 30 quid? I only had 15, come on. And it's true, if you are working late on certain days, you can get like seamless, it's like an internal portal that you can log in and you can make an order. I had £15 allowance, but it seems like this guy has 30, which is like great. And also there are times when you need like a taxi, you can call, the company can provide you with a taxi service that will take you home. I mean, hello, Addison Lee. I was like, you're taking these kind of taxis like almost every day. Not every day during the whole year, but during particularly deal cycle time, which is, from September up until like, early spring, that's when it's like the busiest.
How's your model?
We finish it in the morning.
Send it over my way. I've got capacity.
How do you have capacity?
Brutal finance guy, innit?
I don't know what that is.
You're bouncing. Hey, man, hey, it's only 10:15. No one here is actually going to tell you this, but you need to put in FaceTime.
Actually, I don't. Staying up all night doesn't enhance my work.
This is really interesting interaction between Harry and I think his name is Gus. I like Gus' confidence here because I think he's confident in himself, not having to put in FaceTime in a sense. But I do agree with him that staying up late does not help with his work, which is true. But I think Harry, on the other hand, he wants to take on work. I think he's playing, the stereotype of hard work. But a lot of the time, work smart is better than work hard. So I understand why Harry is doing this, but at the same time, I incline to agree with the approach that Gus is taking. And 10:15 is quite late, but however, I also noticed there are other people in the team here, and generally, analysts shouldn't leave before associates or like other senior people in the team. So I might be wrong on that. Let me know what you think. Yo, are you sure he's in M&A? Are you sure? I mean, that keyboard does not look M&A keyboard. Okay, this is what I do when I say attention to details, right? I mean, what does it look like this with these two buttons missing? Are you really in M&A? Are you really in M&A? So this is my keyboard at home, but the layout at work is very similar with F1 missing and the caps, because it does get in the way when you are looking at the formulas, checking the formulas. It's much easier once you remove that, because a lot of the time you accidentally press on F1 when you wanted to do F2. I mean, it's just a thing, and so a lot of the time people just take it out. So in this scene, I'm not convinced that Harry is actually in M&A. I'm kidding. He is in M&A. It's one of the little things I pick up when from an M&A perspective. And yeah, in this scene, Harry, if you take F1 and caps out, maybe you wouldn't be here.
Do what you want, cause I'm here to stay. Walk in the rain, in the storm, in the joy. I can't see your face anymore.
So he is working the M&A hours, and obviously he's really tired. I've never had to take a nap in the toilet ever before. I think one of the latest I have left the office was perhaps 3 in the morning, and had a cab home. And there are companies where if you have to kind of stay late at work, which they don't encourage, by the way, they do have allowance for you to go to like a nearby hotel, just take a shower or have a short rest. So there are procedures involved, or there are provisions in place now to help people to cope with the long hours of M&A. Again, like I said, this is not every day. It's only during the deal cycle that it gets like super crazy like this. But taking nap in the toilet is a no for me.
That's my model.
Why are you doing the model? Gus is doing the model.
I had capacity. I just wanted to get ahead.
Sorry, I told you to do the pitch book, so do the fucking pitch book, okay? Hungerfix want to optimize delivery speeds. They're looking at mid-caps with best-in-class GPS tech, clear comps, Deliveroo, Uber Eats.
I found something with good sat-nav IP. They're quite small.
Don't fucking fish, stick to the formatting. And for fuck's sake, make sure the font's Helvetica 12 or the MD will freak. And I might have to take one of you into the pitch. I'll leave, but it'll be good for your visibility.
Why are you doing my model?
Mate, it's the team's work.
No, it's my work. It's not my fault you feel the need to keep score. I don't.
Wow, that was intense. That was quite intense. Like, I mean, the F word here is like the bomb word. Formatting. Formatting is like one of the crucial key when you are preparing a pitch book. Everything has to be on point, where the analysts focus on the modeling and they do put a presentation together, and then they kind of just send it off to another team and they would beautify the presentation, and that helps saving a lot of work. But a lot of time these surveys gets crazy busy, so it's also good for the analyst or the junior in the team to know how to do the basic formatting. Also can see in this scene the competitiveness between the juniors. You do want to kind of like stand out, and because M&A, the salary as a graduate per hour, as you've seen earlier, working out is below minimum wage. What people don't talk about is like the bonus, how much bonus they would get, and they're looking at the overall performance, like who would contribute the most or meaningful work to the team would obviously get a bit more bonus than the others. And so in this sense, you can see that Harry is already building that work. But at the same time, like, I can't fault Gus. Like, he looks like he's confident in himself, like he's confident in his work. I think if the senior banker in the team have already distributed you with the work, you do stick to that work and deliver that. Only when you deliver and to the highest standard, that is when you kind of like say, look, I have capacity. But in this sense, I don't know if Harry has done the work, but it looks like he's taking on more work. So quality over quantity. So getting lunch for the team is absolutely not the thing. Like, who does that? I have never ever been asked to go get lunch or coffee for the whole team. Get someone else's coffee or the whole team's coffee like that, it is not a brownie point that you would score. Like, people don't really care if you fetch them coffees at 9 o'clock in the morning, extra sugar with oat milk, etc. No, they don't. Like, it's a nice gesture, but at the end of the day, it does not count towards whether you would stay on the team or not.
God, I don't want to know where you've been sleeping, but optically, I need you to walk out of the office, tap your card out, do whatever, then come back. No more red flag.
Okay. Sorry.
You're not in trouble. I appreciate how you're meeting the needs of the business.
Oh, thank you.
Get rid of the fucking water, yeah? And don't take the piss.
Clearly, she is on edge right here. I do see that when people are under pressure, they do react like that. It's nothing personal. Certainly, this is not the way to speak to your team members, but I do see that this does happen. You do get the occasion of people expressing when they are under pressure. Clearly, she is under pressure. She's quite senior in the team, and from my understanding, she would usually be like the main person to prepare this pitch book, and she have delegated certain tasks to the juniors. So if anything goes wrong, it's kind of like on her as well. So you can understand why people are under pressure, but again, it is not good to speak to the team members like that. But I think, in this kind of environment, this does happen, and you do have to have what they say is a thick skin. You don't take it personally, basically. So yeah, you shouldn't. UK investment banking. that's the team I was in when I was at Credit Suisse. Yeah, so yeah, I can see the lady, the senior there is an associate. This is like a very standard team page, team Facebook. When you are working on the client's page, they do want to see kind of like who are in your team. And so yeah, standard page.
Right.
This is like a newbie mystery.
7, yeah. How many have you guys got?
Harry, you're in the meeting with me. Well done. Gus, I hope you don't mind.
Panicking.
Well deserved. 1-0 to you.
But you're not listening to me. It's just one page. I fucked up the font on that one page. Can you just reprint it? The meeting's at 9 a.m. You don't want to...
Comment company qu'en fonte? En fait que 12.
Hey, that's fucking amateur.
This is really upsetting. Like I could feel how he feeling in that situation. Like when you are about to go into a meeting with a client, and you know this deal probably worth like let's say 1 billion plus. Is huge, and to be making that newbie mistake it can be very, very costly, because usually in this kind of process the client would invite multiple banks to pitch. There are times the client will pick one bank over the other because of the presentation. It does sound a little bit serious, but it's true because other banks are very capable. The quality of the team reflects on the pitch book. Usually, in this kind of scenario, before you send it to the print room, what I used to do at least is at least get some feedback from the senior, in this case, the associate or the line manager, just so that everyone had a chance to see the pitch book before it gets to the print room. If that makes sense. And yeah, so yeah, it's I feel scared for Harry. I know how he feels, so. This scene does hit hard. So Harry just passed away. I don't know the cause. What long hours, or he was in a state of panicking. A lot of these things play into the way that he passed, and it does bring back that story of one of the interns that passed away during his M&A internship, because he was working I think 48 hours straight, and he passed away in his rented accommodation for the internship, and it was all over the news. So recently, another young guy had also passed away. He was only 20 years old. His name was Alex Kearns. He was a day trader. So he basically I don't think he was working for a company. I think he was working for himself. He was a day trader, and he basically took his own life. So there is a huge pressure in the industry, but it shouldn't get to the point where your mental health has to be compromised. It is not the way, and I don't think any bank out there would encourage such a thinking. And I think it is definitely a good thing to speak to your team about it, at least to your staffer, to your line manager, whoever is that you should be reporting to. If you are not in a good state to work, you're not going to produce. So definitely seek help.
Take the girl with the nose ring. Isn't it impossible to compete with this girl's narrative? I mean, everything's aligned for her.
You know nothing about her.
Well, I know she went to a shit uni, and I know she's black. And I know those things are mutually exclusive, sure, but together, tick, tick.
You are fucking vile.
Oh my god. I don't know where to start. I'm really speechless, but I don't think this kind of thinking is is new. There are people who think of, ethnic minority. I mean, me included, I went to a state school, I went to a non-target school. And so to have this kind of mentality from, let's say, a colleague that you see every day, it is quite soul destroying. I mean, it goes to play onto the, that people with the background like myself, and they shouldn't be in banking, which is not true, by the way. I have had a lot of help and support from the senior people in the company. Not everyone think like that, but it wouldn't surprise me if there are people who see someone as a threat and they think that the way that people get there purely based on the color of the skin, or just to get the diversity quotas, etc. I don't think when companies recruit, they particularly pick on the color. I do think that they do pick on the fact that they have a different background, different thinking, and different perspective. All these are important when it comes to how to be part of the team, because you don't want everyone to think alike. Banks already looking at different ways to recruit and looking beyond non-target as well. So it's a step in the right direction. In conclusion, it was a really, really good episode. I really enjoyed it. I do think that there are people who thought that the episode was a lot more about sex and banking. Personally, I don't mind the 18 plus scenes, given that it is tasteful. Some scenes here, to be honest, I don't think it is necessary to have it, but then again, I do think that it does give the series some flavor, because if it's just purely about working late, working on Excel as a model, etc., I don't think people will watch it, because they would realize that it is true. There is not much going on if you are working in banking, because you just work long hours, and the lifestyle is not as glamorous as people made out to be. I mean, Harry, as you can see, that slept in the toilet, and on the sales and trading side, perhaps the lifestyle is a little bit more hip and happening, that you can actually go out and take clients out, have a drinks. But I think it is more true, because I do have friends that work in sales and trading, and I do know they do go out quite often before the lockdown. And I'm quite sad that Harry has the character of Harry is just ended in very first episode. I like his character. I would love if I had it my way to see him in the episode a bit longer. But I guess now the focus would be on Gus for the M&A side. So if you would like to see the reaction videos I would make for episode number 2, please make sure to hit the subscribe button. Comment down below if you have any questions. Did you watch the series? What did you like about it? So let me know in the comment down below, and see you all in the next episode. Bye!